Go ahead on with repetition. Let's find the word.
I already got it.
Real fast. Good, right here. Good morning, guys. Before my day gets started, I wanted to share with you a lesson that I started on yesterday surrounding Kendrick Lamar and the halftime show for Super Bowl. It's a lesson on figurative speech, and it is amazing. Now, I do have to say, I wasn't the one who created this, so I will let you know who the creator was. OMG. All right, so I am on this. Anytime I can incorporate current events into my lessons, it's a wonderful thing because it helps to get my kids even more excited about the lesson. Now, the language arts and writing and reading is not necessarily my kids' favorite subject, but it is a subject they must tackle and that they learn hard things. So it keeps me on my toes being creative and how to present it. And of course, it is Black History Month, right? And that's one reason I felt like this was such the perfect lesson at the perfect time, because who didn't watch the Super Bowl or know about the Super Bowl, right? Obviously, the lesson is an English language arts lesson. It is designed to be 60 or 90 minutes. My students, we definitely don't do 90-minute classes without breaks. And so what I decided to do was to really kind of split this lesson up over the course of 2 days. And then, being the teacher that I am, I tweaked it to fit my needs, right? So that's what we always do. But again, also, I want to go ahead on and send a shout out to Emin. I believe her name is pronounced. I'm going to find her social media handles and link them up here so that you can go and search her. Definitely, again, this is her brainchild, and she shared it for free over on Facebook. I believe she does a lot over on TikTok. I'm not there as much, but make sure you go look her up, watch some of her content, subscribe, just to kind of say thank you. So the theme is music as literature, symbolism, figurative language, and social commentary. So what I did, I started the lesson up by asking them, one, if they actually watched the Super Bowl. And I have a student who did and a student who didn't, which was still perfect, right? So I went on for the student who watched it. I told the other student it was okay. They didn't have to answer the next two questions. But for the student who did watch it, I wanted to know, one, whether or not he liked it or not, and to explain. So I really wanted to see if he was able to look beneath the surface of the message that Kendrick Lamar possibly was sending with his halftime show. Now, I know for me, I watched it, and I'm not a huge fan of music, period, okay? So I was kind of the lame girl. Obviously, I like the beat of stuff, but I'm not someone who really even hears a lot or like analyze music and so forth. So, I thought the choreography was good, and, just how they make everything look spectacular. There was a line that I caught that said 40 acres and a mule. And I was like, oops, he's sending a message. I did not catch everything else. I had to rely on social media to go and fill me in. But anyway, that's what I wanted to see, whether or not my student was able to catch any deeper meaning, or whether or not, like a lot of people, he just saw at the surface level performance, right? Then there was there was another question. I can't remember now exactly what it was. But anyway, we did that so that my student could tie in already and connect to what we were beginning to talk about. And I wanted to also be able to go back and compare those initial answers to what he gets after we actually start teaching the lesson, and they have another opportunity to re-watch the halftime show looking for different figurative language. And so obviously I opened up about talking about figurative language, and the way that I approached that was they were able to look it up on using Google. We saw a definition. They read the definition. Generally, it's a more complicated definition. So my thing is, if they can't read the definition and then come back and explain it in simpler terms for themselves, then we have to keep digging. And so keep digging for us is generally going to YouTube, searching the same term, and then finding a video of someone who really broke it down. And so as you can see with figurative language, we said it's a creative way to use words to, one, make comparisons, two, explain something that is complicated, and three, to add dramatic effect, right? So as I started seeing all this, I'm like, yay, because this is going to be so cool when I actually kind of tell them what they're looking for. So we went on with that same process and we defined metaphor, simile, repetition, and symbolism. So once we did that, then I introduced the halftime show. Prior to watching the video, I told them to just be on the lookout for colors and to think about what they may mean, different lyrics, why do you think he chose that over maybe something else, and so forth. Even just to watch my students watch the actual halftime show was cool because they kind of got really excited, and that's always a good thing, particularly when you're having them to write and do critical thinking. But they were definitely able to pull several different things out that I thought was amazing, and a huge learning moment for us was when one of my students said the red, white, and blue. And I said, well, what do you think that symbolized? And so basically he thought red meant bad, blue was good. And he was like, well, I'm still thinking on white. And he was like, is that right? And then I was like, you know what? I mean, it could be, as long as you're critically thinking about it and you're analyzing, because we really don't know what Kendrick meant. He has not come out and said, this is this. So all of it is speculation, but that's the thing about critical thinking. You get to view something, read something, and then internalize it, right? And so that was a good part, right? Because a lot of times my students want to know right or wrong, and it's not always about that. So like I said, we only did half of the lesson yesterday. Today we're gonna finish up. And instead of maybe doing that group project, there's another social media person that I follow on Facebook. His name is, I'm not even sure his first name. Is it Wim Levin? Anyway, really cool guy. I believe he's a professor, just a really brilliant man that I really love his commentary and reading his posts and so forth. But he did an interview with Akia, and we're gonna search up this rap artist, and then we're gonna actually read this interview. So I will make sure I put the link to that down below in case you also want to use it. And I think I'm gonna maybe cut and paste the actual lesson plan, but please be sure to go over to the actual creator and give her some love. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed it.